The first domino in the fall of Western power. This presentation explores the realist insights of John Mearsheimer. Japan is not just an economy in trouble, it is an early warning signal for the decline of the Western order.
We often look at Japan as a unique island nation with isolated problems. But what is happening there is not a local curiosity. It is the preview trailer for what awaits every nation that believed endless globalization, American security guarantees, and infinite monetary tricks could outrun reality forever.
To understand the crash, we have to understand the high. The post-Cold War model encouraged allies like Japan to specialize, outsource industry, and minimize defense spending under the U.S. security umbrella. This model looked brilliant as long as trade was frictionless and American power was unchallenged. But that era is over. Great power rivalry has returned with a vengeance, cracking the very foundation of this international architecture.
Japan is the healthy man who went to the doctor first. It is the first advanced economy to feel the full combined weight of three foundational forces that are now gathering over the entire West. First, demographic collapse, the unfixable anchor. Second, monetary exhaustion, the end of financial magic. And third, geopolitical coercion, the trap of the middle power. Let's look at that first force. This graph isn't just a population pyramid. It is becoming a tombstone. Japan faces a slow-motion disaster, a shrinking labor force, and a ballooning retiree population. This reveals a core truth. You cannot borrow from future generations when those generations are smaller than the present one. No central bank has a printing press big enough to fix demographics. So how did they try to fight this? For 30 years, Japan engaged in an experiment of trillions in stimulus and zero interest rates. They effectively put duct tape on a cracking dam. But with government debt now over 230% of GDP, the market is signaling its disbelief in the story. Even a small spike in bond yields makes the entire fiscal edifice wobble.
While the economy rots from the inside, pressure builds from the outside. Japan is caught in the middle power trap, militarily dependent on the US, but economically held hostage by China. This is the new face of 21st century power, the ability to inflict calibrated economic punishment, like cutting off critical minerals, faster than any military response.
The West is not immune. It is only behind schedule. The same forces, aging populations and the exhaustion of monetary magic, are gathering over Europe and the United States. Japan is simply the first to feel the weight. The US faces this same path, but with polarized politics and lower social cohesion, leaving even less room for error. The US is currently entering an industrial doom loop. We try to bring manufacturing home using tariffs, but this makes dependencies more expensive. Higher costs require larger subsidies, which means more borrowing. More borrowing leads to inflation, hurting the very manufacturers we tried to save. We end up paying the world's highest prices for inputs just to tread water.
We cannot ignore the math forever. The bill is finally due. U.S. interest payments on federal debt have already surpassed defense spending. We are trapped in an impossible trilemma. Keeping rates low brings back inflation, but raising them pops the bubble built on cheap money.
The post-Cold War holiday is over. We are entering a new reality defined by three iron laws. 1. Power follows production. The side that makes real things wins. 2. The world is multipolar and brutal. Supply chains will be weaponized. 3. The bill has been presented. The efficiency bought with debt has a price that is now being paid all at once. The core problem is a disconnect in value. One side focused on financial instruments and cultural soft power. The other side focused on making things, building ports, railways, and factories at a pace unseen since the 1950s. Our rivals control the industrial base, including 85% of rare earth refining. We stand at a crossroads. Path A is radical surgery, industrial policy that works, fiscal restraint, and immense political courage. Path B is managed decline, more stimulus, more tariffs, and more rhetoric about democracy while the material balance shifts. The choice is between painful necessity and terminal decline.
Denial is no longer an option. If we continue on this trajectory, we end up exactly where Japan is today. Technologically sophisticated, culturally rich, but structurally doomed. We have prescribed ourselves stronger doses of the same medicine, debt and outsourcing, that was killing the patient we should have been studying.
What is happening to Japan today is not the exception. It is the rehearsal.
This has been a compelling discussion on geopolitics, geoeconomics, power erosion, and the limits of liberalism in the 21st century. We have explored critical factors such as demographic decline, financial instability, security dependence, supply chain disruption, and the rise of China's influence. If you are interested in the decline of American power, the strategic role of Japan, the future of the international system, or John Mearsheimer's realist theory, the full video, Japan, the First Domino in the Fall of Western Power, is a must-watch. You can find the link in the description below.